We are heading into the 27th of November 2019, and Tropical Storm Kammuri is passing towards the south of Guam here. Been bringing some pretty messy weather for the past 24 hours. Flash flood warning and a tropical storm warning does remain in place for the island here, issued by the Guam National Weather Service. Already have seen some reports of even a few power outages, and schools have also been closed out here on their Wednesday, but we are heading into the Thanksgiving holiday as well, so that probably has a lot to do with it too. But still, that tropical storm warning continues to remain in place, as winds could be still upwards, possible 30 to 35 knots, maybe gust upwards of 45. We have seen that. Guam's airport, in fact, there's a peak wind at 070, so basically coming out of the east at 44 knots right there. Seen a few other reports upwards about 44 to 45. I haven't seen any reports over 50 knots at the airport, but I'm sure some of those more exposed areas, especially along the eastern slopes, have seen those winds that high, thus the power outages, but no significant damage because Guam built for these type of storms, at least these winds. Now, the rain's going to be a bigger issue, I think. You just have that flow, and plus a little secondary circulation even popping up behind this that could bring another round of heavy precipitation across Guam and Saipan. So a lot going on here with this storm as far as the rain is concerned. It's just a pretty messy start to the Thanksgiving holiday, and hopefully this doesn't impact people's travel plans flying in and out of Guam here over Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday, one of the busiest travel days of the year, and I'm sure that flights... I know when I'm making this update, it's actually the middle of the night Guam time, but still no flights around the island. Hopefully once this passes, they will be able to get in there, but it does look like there is some pretty decent delays going in and out of Guam and Saipan. The number one question people have been asking is, where is this going next? And I keep on saying that from day to day, the confidence will be increasing, and I am really more and more confident that this is going to eventually slow down, but eventually, move towards the west, pending anything changing dramatically. You take a look at that upper level trough towards the north, it is well off there towards the north, and not really seeing it dig down all too much. It does look like that subtropical high continues to set up. What this will allow is our storm system to kind of slow down eventually, and then move straight west once it runs into that high pressure ridge after the interaction, or at least minor interaction, with that trough towards the north. So category 3, but once it slows down, it is going to move into a very favorable area for development, and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, in fact, does have this upgrading to a category 4. I think Cat 4, Cat 5 is not out of the realm of possibility. I very rarely say that. But this is moving into an area, that's what I like to call the Philippine Sea effect. It just moves into an area of explosive possible development. Storm system develop here, it has the potential at the very least of becoming a pretty big beast of a storm. I mean, we're looking ahead into Friday, then look over towards Sunday, kind of starts to meander towards the west, and by next Monday and the Tuesday, according to the ECMWF model, still on track towards the Philippines. The GFS actually a very similar outcome as well, a rather large typhoon there in central Luzon. This has been persistent as far as the overall result of the model analysis. The ensembles are a bit still split. NavGem both kind of agreeing that this is going to move more on a westerly track, but the Canadian model, remind you, is not known for accurately forecasting tropical systems. It does have this kind of lingering and then eventually pulling towards the north, and it does have a lot of options. And when you see this all over the place, that just shows me the model kind of garbage at this point, not very useful. You're gonna have to wait until it gets into this whole hot mess before it kind of gets together and starts to decide where it wants to go. But this is gonna be a tricky one. The forecast moves past Guam and off here towards the west. I do expect it to intensify. All depends on that interaction with that upper level trough towards the north. But if I was a betting man, I would say this is going to move off towards the Philippines. But I'm trying to use logic and not just jump on to what the solutions are saying right now. That upper level trough is going to be something it has to combat. So, with that said, I know people don't like hearing it because I get so many questions. People want to know where exactly this is going. And guess what? It's still an inexact science. Yeah, I do have a lot of experience with this, but the long-range forecast is uncertain. That's why the Joint Typhoon Warning Center is showing what they're showing, because even the professionals there are not 100% sure. So if you see somebody say, yeah, it's going to hit this exact town in the Philippines, they are full of poop. Yep. Poop is the word I'm going to use. There's another 4-letter word I probably would like to use, but I'm not going to. But if they say that, you can just tell them that they're full of it. At least for now. Let's wait through the weekend, and then we're probably definitely going to get a much, much better idea. So, anyways, hopefully everybody being impacted by this storm system today in Guam is all right, and it doesn't affect their Thanksgiving holiday all too much. Stay safe out there, guys, and as always, thanks for watching.